Hello guys, this is Glenn from Sydney CBD Repair Centre, and today we have a Huawei Mate 30 Pro that needs a screen replacement because David is pointing on it. It's got a cracked display. So the customer wants us to fix his Huawei Mate 30 Pro that has been off for a few days now. So we're gonna expect that it's gonna be drained when we are done with the repair, since when you turn it on, you will not see anything. So first off, we're gonna remove this back plate, and we have to be very careful. It took us a lot of time because of the adhesives, that the stock adhesive that's holding on to this back plate. And we're just gonna cut it off like so. So it's just a plastic back cover. As you can see here, you have a lot of screws, and it is a pretty complicated repair, to be honest. So you also have a lot of tapes that are concealing all the screws. And this is the wireless charging module. We're also gonna remove that. Be careful not to tear this one. And there's also screws underneath that. So we're gonna remove this one and mark some of the screws just to make sure. And this is it. This is the internals. You have the battery that is kind of upside down relative to the phone. This is the motherboard, which is connected to the daughter board at the bottom with a flat cable. We'll also mark some of the screws because some of the screws has different sizes. So in order to replace the screen on this one, you have to remove all the components inside the device. And if you've seen our Samsung disassembly process or Samsung repair videos, this is more complicated compared to that one, mainly because the components are kind of non-integrated. So when you remove the camera, you can see here you also have a lot of pieces that needs to be removed. This is the motherboard. So when you have your replacement display, it will kind of look like this, like a bare chassis, because the chassis and the screen is integrated. And you will notice that this replacement display has a different color than the original, which is not really an issue. But if you are really particular with the color of your smartphone, then you might opt for the original color that came with your smartphone. But the client doesn't really care as long as it's working, which is kind of a nice attitude. So this is the tedious part. We have to transplant all the components that we have removed from the smartphone to the replacement display. So this is gonna be done one by one, of course, in reverse order. So do we recommend DIY repair for this device? Certainly not. As you can see, the components are kind of sensitive. You have a lot of connectors. The design, the topology of the board is not really lending itself to novice repair personnel. So if you have a Huawei Mate 30 Pro, which is kind of really expensive, you really need to minimize the risk of damage by just bringing it to a pro technician who will do it for you, who has more skills and the proper tools to do the job. So David is now transplanting everything that he has extracted from the old display. And just by, if you can see that battery on the left side, it's also held on by adhesives to the old board. So removing that kind of risky. because you can bend, and then bending batteries and making it explode on you is not a really fun thing to have. So as you can see here, we have fresh adhesives on the replacement display, and we're almost done. We're connecting now some of the surface connectors and the screws that holds onto the shrouds that protects the boards and those connectors. So if you're after you watch this and you think that it's kind of hard for you to do, because yeah, it is really complicated and hard. So we're gonna try to boot up the device and see if it works. If it boots up and detects the screen and the touch screen is okay, then it's a success. We're also gonna test the charging, the speakers, cameras, buttons, everything, just to make sure that the customer has his smartphone back with all the features and the functions complete. As you can see here, 1%. This is kind of normal. If your smartphone is broken for days, you will not be bothering to charge it because you will not be able to use it anyway. So touchscreen is okay. We're gonna proceed now to installing the backplate. So if you have a broken smartphone, Android, iPhone, smartwatches, tablets, bring it to us in Sydney CBD Repair Centre. We'll do the repair for you, and David here is a pro technician who can do almost anything. And thanks for watching, guys. Cheers!